those fundamental research problems in large language models. So my understanding then PTIT is one of the top in Vietnam, and the student here very high quality. So hopefully you understand what I talk about today. So, but if you don't understand, please don't worry about it, because the topic I cover today is very advanced. I use this time, it's a two parts. The very first one is very, I think, easy to understand. Just to give you information about Macquarie University and school computing. So how many of you heard about Macquarie? Never? Or somebody heard about it, right? Please, I think when you interact with me, there is some gifts for you. So be active. Yeah, if we ask questions, answer questions. So first part, I will briefly introduce Macquarie University and the school of computing. For example, why we call the Macquarie, right? So why the university have, the name is Macquarie University. So second part is our technical part. Then it's about, we discuss several research challenges about generative AI. So overall, this slide just gives you a very high-level information about Macquarie University. It is one of the leading universities, not only in Australia, but worldwide. If you look at those rankings, right, I think you perhaps already know them. Shanghai Jiao Tong University ranking, we have a QS ranking, we have Times ranking, and so on. So pretty much Macquarie is in the very top place. Then we are definitely in top 200. Then for some rankings, for example, QS ranking, we're already close to top 100 in the whole world. So if this is not impressive, think about it. How many universities in this world, right? Thousands of universities. Then we are close to top 100. So several years ago, the university spent a lot of money, $1 billion, to upgrade the whole campus. Then later, I mean, some of you perhaps were studying in Macquarie University, you will appreciate. We have a beautiful campus, modern facilities, and so on. This comes to the question, right? So why we call it Macquarie University? It's really this university named after a very important person in Australian history. This guy widely regarded as the father of that country. So in Vietnam, Ho Chi Minh, right? So that is the father of this country. Then similar, see, in this country we have Ho Chi Minh University, right? So then in Australia, we also have a similar one. This named after this very important person. So his name is Lachlan Macquarie. Yeah, if in the future you travel to Sydney, around the CBD area, you will notice many Macquarie something. Macquarie Streets, Macquarie Park, some companies they call them Macquarie. It's really because this is a very important person. It is in beautiful Sydney. Particularly, I use these slides to show this is towards end of May, mid-June. During that period, then Sydney have an important festival called the Vivid Sydney. Around that period, it's very colorful. So I think in the future, if you travel to Sydney for holiday or for whatever, you perhaps can pick up that period. It's end of May to mid-June. It's a Vivid Sydney festival, very beautiful. That is Opera House, right? Sydney Harbour Bridge. Yeah. So another knowledge about this university is that Australian government set up Macquarie University. They have a very clear, ambitious vision. So that is follow Stanford University model. I think everybody knows that in USA, then they have a Stanford University, then Silicon Valley is around that university, right? So in Australia, that is Australian government want to do. Then they set up a high quality university, Macquarie University. Then around this university, they set up a high technology corridor. You can understand that is Australia's Silicon Valley. It's called Macquarie Park. Yeah. So obviously, after 60 years development, we're pretty much almost there. You can see we have a high quality university. This is Australia Government Research Organization, CSIRO. So two together, lots of research innovation is happening. Then around this, then we have more than 400 small or big companies. For those top IT companies like Google, Microsoft, IBM, the headquarters, Australia, New Zealand, is always around this area. So that means our students have lots of opportunities interact with those big companies. And some company even on campus. Yeah, for example, Cochlear, if you haven't heard about it, that perhaps is the best in the whole world. So help people who cannot hear, then use the technology they develop, then people can hear again. Yeah. Macquarie is not very old. Previous university I work with is University of Adelaide. That is 1874. That is a very, very old university. This university just 60 years. But university already make a lot of contributions to human being. So here I just use two examples. So one is innovation. The other is education. So you can have a sense then how big a contribution Macquarie already made to the whole world. I guess everybody was surprised, right? You use Wi-Fi, but you never know that Wi-Fi actually invented by us. Yeah, it's 1990s, then a bunch of Macquarie researchers worked together with the CSIRO, then they invented the Wi-Fi technology. It's in 1992 or 1993, okay? No one knows, right? So this is new knowledge for you. Then it is actually invented. So think about it nowadays, everybody, every day, then you cannot leave Wi-Fi, right? Think about how contribution we made to the people's life. Second one is about education. So I think if you study British English, then perhaps you use Oxford Dictionary, right? If people study American English, then you use Brown Dictionary. So this actually is Australia official English dictionary. That's called the Macquarie Dictionary. So I don't have to explain, right? It's because it is developed by Macquarie University. So we have a very strong linguistic. Yeah, so think about it. It's very impressive. So that is just to give you some very high-level information about Macquarie University. Hopefully, you have a sense, right? The quality, standing, reputation about the university. So I understand you're all IT students, so I will focus on use a few slides, introduce my school computing there. So after that, we will go to AI topic. So overall, school computing in Macquarie is very large. Then we have, this is last year's number. This year, I'm pretty sure we have 3,500 students, more than 3,500 students. And 50%, about half, are overseas students. So that means lots of students from different countries over the world. Then we have many staff. This 62 is research, teaching, and service. Then we also have a large number of only teaching. They just teaching. They are contract-based. So altogether, the staff maybe is about 150. Then our staff then do really world-leading top research. Then they secure lots of research fundings, publish lots of papers, and so on. So what I have to take the opportunity to mention is then this is our building. There's a whole big building belong to school computing. Then this is what looks inside. Then university spent $14 million several years ago to renovate. Then you can see brand new teaching labs, excellent teaching facility for students, and there's a cafe here. Then we have lots of informal study area for students. So Macquarie's school computing is one of the best in Australia now. So in terms of improvement, we perhaps is the best, we are number one. If you look at our rankings, then in Shanghai Jiao Tong ranking, Macquarie's computer science engineering already in top 50 globally. Yeah, this again, think about that is a really high achievement. We are now in the top 50 worldwide, according to Shanghai ranking. So not only one ranking, so pretty much all these 4 major university rankings, our computer science subject is ranked very high. Times ranking, we are top 150. Then particularly, I think, I'm not sure some of you are interested in data science AI. Then that is another strength. Then data science AI QS ranking, Macquarie is top 100 in the whole world. In Australia, we're number 4. So why we see we are the best in terms of improvements? If you look at previous several years ago, then see it's quite different, right? So Shanghai ranking, several years ago, we are not in the top 500. Yeah, we're outside, right? So pretty much every year, we jump 100, 100, and now we are top 50 in the whole world. So having said that, hopefully the one message is then, if you consider computing or IT in Australia, you should consider us because Macquarie is one of the best in Australia. So the other thing I want to mention is the professors there, the quality is fantastic. So this is just a very small snapshots of the academic profile. So you can see Mark Johnson. So if you use ChatGPT, behind is the natural language processing, right? That is a key technology. Then he is one of the top in the whole world in computation linguistics. Yeah, so see, he got a PhD Stanford, then postdoc MIT. Then he was a professor in Brown University, then later back to Australia. Annabelle, then bachelor Cambridge, PhD Oxford, then her research cybersecurity. Then recently we have Richard. Richard is a bachelor from Stanford, PhD Berkeley, very famous. So have a sense, then professors, many of them, they study PhD in those really top universities. So obviously, this is some junior academic staff and our research students who heard about Microsoft PhD fellowship or Google PhD fellowship. Yeah, this is every year Google, Microsoft, they just pick up a handful, very few outstanding research students, and they give them such kind of fellowship. Yeah, so in Australia, every year maybe 1 or 2. So pretty much every year, our PhD student can win those highly competitive fellowship. So this is some of our teaching programs. I understand that some of you may, after you finish, you perhaps consider to go to overseas for your postgraduate level study or PhD or whatever. So I just quickly go through this. So undergraduate level, we have these 4 major degrees for students, Bachelor IT, Cybersecurity, Software Engineering, and Games Design. That is the 4 major degrees. Then around the BIT, we also offer lots of majors because students have very different interests, right? So some want to study cybersecurity, some really want to study AI. So no problem. They just come here, pick up the right major for them. So also later, then if a student change their mind, say, oh, AI is not my something, I really want to move to cybersecurity, our design also is easy to transfer from one major to another. So postgraduate level, similarly, we have 3 major degrees, MIT, Master Data Science, because data science is highly demanded in industry. So Master Information System Management. Similarly, postgraduate level, MIT will offer a number of majors for students. So based on their interests, they can pick up something they want to study. I mentioned before then, more than 3,500 students in my school about 50% are overseas students, right? So those overseas who come to Australia study, then usually they have lots of this or that learning difficulties, not only language problem. So that's why school offer lots of support. We need to make sure everybody is successful and not fail their study. So this job incentive is just one of them. So if you have difficulties, don't worry. What you do is just walk into this job incentive, then somebody will help you. And it's a free service, then students don't have to pay. Then we basically pay those tutors to help you. Yeah, I think as any universities, we have lots of student societies, then they organize events throughout the year. So as I mentioned, so Macquarie, we're next to Australia's Silicon Valley. So that means students every year, they have a lot of opportunity to engage with industry partners. So this is, every year we organize some events with those big companies, right? So you can see we organize a hackathon with IBM, with Microsoft. We organize AI workshop with Google, last year with Amazon. Yeah, you know Amazon, right? Amazon Web Service, those big companies. So students have lots of opportunities to engage with industry partner. So this is research. I maybe just skip because thing. This slide just talk a little bit about career perspective of IT. You see then people study IT, then what is a job they will do, then some other important informations. You see, first of all, I really want to highlight is then students see then I study IT, very first is about programming, right? They do the coding, use Java or use Python or C#. So I think coding is really just a tiny part. This is a very important message. If you know that perhaps AI already can do the coding for you, right? So ChatGPT can code for you, right? So coding is a tiny part when you study IT. The most important part actually is those people-related skills. Yeah, you need to critical thinking, then you need to have these problem-solving skills, then you need to develop your people skills, how to work with people. So this is not something AI can do well. So that is people can do well. So I really suggest that please pay lots of attention on your people skills when you study. Don't forget, it's not just about you study a programming course, then you get 100 out of 100, you're happy. So that is a tiny part. You need to ask yourself, have I developed my people skills or not? If not, then your career likely not be successful because those people skills are really, really important. So second point I want to mention is then you study IT, when you graduate, you don't have to just work for IT company. Yeah, pretty much all the discipline, all the domains, then they need somebody who have IT skills. So that means you can work pretty much for anywhere. Yeah, for banks, for some finance companies and so on. So there's a high demand. I think particular Vietnam is quickly rising. I firmly believe there's so many opportunities. So when you graduate, you should have lots of opportunities to secure something nice. So this is Australia. Australia similar. So there's a huge demand for people who have IT expertise, data science, cybersecurity, AI, and also pay very well. Okay, so if you don't know, this is another message. Then because there's a huge market demand, then Australia government, then overseas students who study in Australia, when they finish, they can stay 2 years further. So that means you finish, you can stay there looking for some jobs and work there. So far, no questions. Do you have any questions to ask? Everything's clear, right? Yeah, if you have another question, just stop me. I'm happy to answer your question. So of course, then this is a promotion. I think the message is that Macquarie is very good for IT. So one of the best in Australia. So if you, let's say you decide to study overseas, then please consider Macquarie. We are one of the best, right? So this is Times ranking. Actually, our Shanghai ranking is already top 50 in the whole world. So that is the first part. I think use 20 minutes, introduce university, introduce the school. I hope those general knowledge you know some. So the second part I come to today's topic is about what are some fundamental research challenges still about generative AI, about the large language models. Okay, so I mean, if anybody perhaps you already use ChatGPT, you may have a misconception. You think, oh, it's become so powerful, right? It can do lots of things for me. So what else we can do? It's perfect? Yeah, the answer is no. So those products still have so many problems. So that's why from research point of view, there's still a long way for us to do. So we actually work a lot on those topics. So very first one, so we talk about AI. So what do we mean by AI? That's the first one. So I hope that you perhaps already understand when we say artificial intelligence, what exactly mean by artificial intelligence, right? So this slide just, I think, a high level explain a little bit. The very first one, you look at intelligence. Yeah, forget artificial. Intelligence is about a human being, right? So we are intelligent, clever people. Then we can learn things quickly. We can apply the things learned and solve problems. That is what we call the intelligence, right? So then we try to understand the artificial intelligence. Artificial, so if you add artificial, it's really about how to make a machine work like a human being. So end of the day, then can computer just act like as smart as a person? So that is the whole idea. So AI is really about simulation of our human intelligence, right, by computers. So that is, if you say, we need to give a definition about AI, that's it, right? So you need to first understand the intelligence. Then you put artificial, that means how computers can just like a human being, okay? So obviously, whenever we talk about fundamental things about artificial intelligence is this kind of things, right? You should be able to do the reasoning. You know, I think a human being can do this very well. And we have the common sense, right? We know that if it's raining, we should bring umbrella. If it's hot, we should not wear too much clothes, right? This is a common sense. So I think a computer have common sense? The very first one is reasoning. Can computer do the reasoning very well? So that is the first problem. So knowledge, of course, then you have lots of knowledge, then you can make a smart decision. Then, of course, I think at the end of the day, as a person, then machine can automatically finish something. That is planning, learning, and communication, right? So if we talk about the communication, is really about, say, ChatGPT, you ask questions, they give you answer, right? So in terms of technologies, you can see machine learning, deep learning, that is very popular. Then, of course, ChatGPT, large language models, the behind is really about ALP, right? So natural language processing. So who knows then where AI started? Is AI something new or is it very old? Start from what time? Do you know? AI is very old. It's just as old as computer. So we know that computer is pretty much appear after World War II, right? So 1940s and the 1950s. So see AI pretty much a similar time. Yeah, so you can see this is a key milestones of AI. Then 1956, then we have this. Then pretty much we see this is the birth year of AI. Then along the way, of course, there's many key milestones, right? AI is really how to become better and better than human being, right? So you see some very famous one. For example, Deep Blue from IBM. Then the machine, then they can defend a chess champion, right? So that is 1997 happened, right? First AI defend a world champion in chess game. So then about 10 years ago, similar, you know Go, right? Go is another game, right? Go game, right? So then AlphaGo also is an AI program. Then they defend the world champion in Go game, right? So this actually is a development of AI technologies. Of course, recent years, you see, it's about nowadays you already know, right? So these large language models, ChatGPT, all those kind of things, right? So hopefully this slide is useful for you. You know AI is quite old, right? It's very old. It's already 70 years. Along the way, there's many things happening. Then, did you know that there's AI winter? Anybody heard about winter, AI winter, AI summer? So obviously now we are AI summer, right? Very hot, then lots of things are happening. So AI winter is very down, right? So because some reason. So you can see lots of activities around this time, but see 1970s, 1980s, right? It's very quiet. That period is actually the AI winter. Not too many things happening. So this slide just give you some idea about what are the main capabilities. If we talk about artificial intelligence, right? There's three key capabilities about AI. The very first one, it's also easy to understand, is about deal with data. Okay, we call the first capability of AI is data analytics, right? So that means we have lots of data, then how can we effectively produce those data and do some prediction? So that is the first thing. So again, you can see lots of tools already available. The second main capability, talk about AI, is cognitive. So that means how AI can just act like a human being, then use common sense, use reasoning things, then can do something automatically. So that is the second one we see is cognitive, right? They can do the decision automatically rather than we don't rely on human being to do the decision. So number three is what we talk about today, and also is very hot nowadays, is generative, right? So that means use AI, they can create lots of new things, right? They can come up a short essay article, then they can come up a short video automatically, right? They can do the music, or you can pretty much use AI to do lots of things. This is called generative, right? So many tools already available, then you can create things. I'm not sure ChatGPT, everybody perhaps use it, right? Who haven't used it? No one, right? So how about GitHub? GitHub, yes, right? Yeah, so this perhaps you don't, right? This is very specialized. So how about this one? Then can generate slides for you, right? If you just give some instructions, then they can come up a proper slides for you. So having said that, this is the three key capabilities whenever we talk about artificial intelligence. And for each of them, they already have lots of tools available for people to use. So we see, as I mentioned before, AI is a very old discipline, almost 70 years. But then you can increase your programming performance by more than 50%. Then you can quickly come up your software, right? So this paint, can you believe it's not a paint by a human being? Yeah, it's painted by an AI tool. Okay, so of course that person just come up lots of instructions, prompts, right? Oh, you should print something, then use prompts. Then the AI tool come up such a beautiful painting. And more interestingly, it's the best painting in a competition, right? So then you can see AI actually do lots of good things for people. This slide is very crowded. I not expect you read it. Later, if you're interested, I can leave my slides to you. But what I want to say here is pretty much generative AI is already used pretty much everywhere, right? So for example, media, then we can use AI to write some content, come up with social media content. Then we can use AI to come up with music, come up with the new movie clips, and so on, right? So pretty much AI can help us to do lots of things. This hopefully is not difficult to understand. So given the powerful AI is so widely used, this is for university education, right? A very important part is we need to teach students AI literacy, right? So this means every student need to know how to use AI. Yeah, this is a very important message, because when you know how to use AI, that means later when you graduate, then you're in a better position to compete with other people. If you don't use AI, then you don't have a performance, right? So AI, don't forget, that can increase your performance. So for university education, one thing is that university need to focus, make sure all the students are AI literate. So that means they know how to use AI. So this is very important. So we will see AI literacy is really, there's a few things, right? Teach our students how to use AI. That is the very first part. But the most importantly, we need to teach students how to criticize. You really should not believe whatever AI tell you. So this later I will give you some more discussions, right? You need to use have a critic attitudes, right? So because AI actually produce lots of things, it's not today, right? So message is then teach students how not only how to use AI, how to build AI, but the most importantly, how to criticize AI. So this is very important. So next we come to begin to talk about generative AI. The one very important trading topic nowadays is large language models agents. Okay, so if you haven't heard about it, later you can search. So here, this slide just give you a big picture about, first of all, about agents. Agent actually, just like AI, is very old. If you look at, so before 2000, then AI agent is really about symbolic. That is focused on text. Then people ask questions, then they search the database, then they can give you an answer. The most typical application called ELIZA, right? So that is the 1960s and 1970s. Some companies already use that tool. So at that time, really using expert system. For example, IBM Deep Blue. Remember, Deep Blue actually defamed the chess champion, right? Use this symbolic AI agents. The downside is lots of efforts you need to manually design, you manually maintain. Then it cannot be used in multiple places, right? So if this agent designed for something, then it's just for that part. Then if you want to apply to another one, you need to redesign. So this is a problem. But not surprising, right? Think about that is 40, 50 years ago, right? So 10 years ago, I think about 10 years ago, right? So agent become, we call this deep RL, reinforcement learning agents. So that pretty much is deep learning and reinforcement learning all together. Then we can do lots of things. For example, AlphaGo, OpenAI, those tools, they use this kind of agents. Again, similarly, that is a very specific task oriented. They need lots of training, and so there's some downside about this one. So recently, this is today's topic. Okay, so 5 years ago, then we begin have this called large language models agents, right? So ChatGPT is one of them. DeepSeek, all this actually is a large language models agents. So there are things, see, they can easily move from one application domain to another because they use this few shot learning. So by the way, there's lots of some technical things. As I mentioned, if you cannot get it, really don't worry about it. It's just for your information about this. So this is how large language model agent works, right? So if you use ChatGPT, you will see you have a question, then the agents give you an answer, then you ask a follow-up questions, and they go on and on, right? So that is how large language model agent works. Then this actually is the architecture behind, right? So large language model agents, then the main thing, first they do the reasoning. Yeah, for example, you ask a question, they try to reasoning, right? So reasoning what the question is. Then after they understand your question, they begin to plan things, collect information, and get the result to you, right? Get the job done. Let's see. So this, I think the main thing is, one is reasoning. Can they do the reasoning well? The second is planning. Of course, they interact with the environment and those things. So as I mentioned, come to today's topic, then you probably think ChatGPT is so powerful. They can do so many things, right? The question here, are they perfect? Is large language model ChatGPT have some problems? So this is today's topic I really want to discuss. I think the message is this one. So large language models are not flawless yet. So they have problems. So what are those problems? And they are fundamental problems. Yeah. The very first one, can large language models do the true reasoning? So that is the first question. The answer actually is no. So far, any large language models actually cannot, like a human being, to do this common sense kind of reasoning. They maybe can do some, but not fully can do this. So if you don't know this guy, this is a very important person in AI, right? So you can see the father of AI. So Jan Loquin, then this is what he mentioned. I invite you, please read it, okay? Do large language models perform reasoning, or it's just information retrieval, right? So that is the question. So actually, more is just information retrieval. Because behind they can collect all those information from the web, because they have such a big model, then they can answer your question. But that not necessarily mean they can do the reasoning like a human being. So this is fundamental. So hopefully, I think you understand large language models like ChatGPT still cannot do the reasoning like a human being. So this is a message, please remember. So have a look at this example, right? So this is one example. It's a very simple math question, okay? Very simple math question, but ChatGPT cannot get it right. Yeah, the question is, Oliver picked up 44 kiwis. Kiwi is a fruit, right? Kiwi fruit. On Friday, then he further picks 58 kiwis on Saturday. On Sunday, he picked double the number of kiwis he did on Friday. Right? So that means 88, right? But 5 of them are smaller. Size is smaller. So this is a key message, right? On Sunday, he picked a double of the kiwis he did on Friday, but 5 of them were a bit smaller than average. So the question is, how many kiwi fruits does this guy pick up? So I think everybody as a human, we understand whether it's big or small, doesn't matter, right? It's still one fruit, right? So, but if we throw this question, simple math question to ChatGPT, then they just consider, oh, because 5 fruit is smaller, I remove them. They are not fruit. So the answer is right. The answer actually is wrong. So this is the ChatGPT. Is that interesting? Huh? Yeah, no, this is a very interesting example, right? So ChatGPT, large language model, still cannot do like a human being to do the reasoning. Yeah, well. So if you look at it again, so hopefully you see them, if there's some irrelevant information, that means it's not relevant to your answer, right? ChatGPT will easily get distracted. Yeah, so this is the issue. So of course you'll see we add those noise to the question, then we'll drop down the ChatGPT performance. Then of course then people say, oh, I can just simply come up with instruction, ignore those irrelevant information. Then ChatGPT can give me the right answer, right? You can say, oh, whether it's small or big, doesn't matter. That's fine. But the problem is that if somebody wants to attack these larger models, I can give lots of irrelevant information, right? So that is what they put, this one. We can simply add lots of noise to bring down your language models. So this is, but anyway, I think it's very interesting. If you want to know a little bit more, there's some papers there. Please have a look. So the second one, so first the fundamental challenge is large language models, generative AI still cannot do the true reasoning like a human being. So that is the very first one. So that means there's still lots of research. How can we make sure that large language model can reasoning well? So the second one, another fundamental challenge problem is, can we trust? Can we trust the large language models? Okay. Yeah, the answer again is no. You really cannot trust large language model. ChatGPT actually creates lots of untrue information. They just simply made up things. Yeah. I think anybody use ChatGPT, you should have the same feeling, right? So this is Peter just summarized a few key points, right? See, most of what it tells you, perhaps you already know, right? It doesn't matter. Then most important is here. Yeah, they talk about something, does it make sense? But they talk in a way that seems to make sense, right? They just trying to let you believe something untrue. So this is very interesting. Yeah. So they just do something nonsense, but they trying to speak with a great authority. Yeah, hopefully this is not something difficult to understand. I think the key message is large language model produce lots of fake information, untrue information. So you should not simply trust whatever large language models tell you. So this is another interesting short paper. I suggest you Read it, okay? So why larger models appear to be intelligent? Please pay attention, appear. It's not is, right? Appear to be intelligent and creative. Yeah, actually it's not, right, of course. So there's a few fundamental things I hope you understand, right? You need to know the fundamental way people design large language models, the key is that they just trying to train like a human discourse. What does that mean? That means they just train the model act like a human. I can write a paragraph of text, read it just like a human being, that's it. But they never pay attention on those common sense. So this is not the, I mean by design, common sense, the reasoning, those kind of things never be the focus of large language models. So that basically is fundamental problem why there's lots of untrue information produced by large language models. Again, this again is here. So whenever they produce something, they just pay attention, oh, this looks like a human write something, right? They never pay attention to check the truth, whether this validates the truth. So this is another. They're not concerned about this is true or false. So there's no technical things. Yeah, here, so you just search this short article, read it, it's quite interesting. So hopefully you understand the second one. We should never trust large language models because fundamentally there's a problem, right? Fundamentally, the model not designed for fact. That is not their focus, right? The focus just to say, whether this short paragraph looks like a human, written by human. So the other thing is large language model nowadays is very weak, can be easily attacked by others. So this is Stanford, some university researchers, they do a test. They basically test all those mainstream large language models to see how robust they are. Yeah, actually there's lots of problems. So this is a big report. I think the paper is more than 100 pages because of lots of things. It's just if you're interested, you can have a look. So this actually is interesting. You see people begin to use AI, ChatGPT to cheating, right? So for example, you submit paper to the conference, then they just hide some prompts. Then they instruct a large language model to give the good review for your paper. So this way you can make sure your paper get accepted. So actually later this, of course, get taught by the conference organizer. But it's happening. It's really happening. So they just use white color. So that means human eyes cannot see, oh, there's these instructions. But the machine, of course, they can see, right? Because the large language model have so many problems, right? So if we use, let's say, ChatGPT in some business applications, they will create lots of problems. So this is really happening nowadays, right? So just a few examples. See, Air Canada, what's happened actually is this airline, they use a chatbot, right? They use chatbot to interact with customer. Of course, chatbot is an AI chatbot, right? So then that AI chatbot basically promises something the company never promised. So the promise is, if you book your flight in this period, then I give you 50% discount. So that means many people quickly book the flight. Actually, the Canadian airline never have this. So it's just created by AI. See, remember that AI have those fundamental problems, right? So end of the day, of course, then the company have to bear the cost. It's really because AI simply made up this discount. it's never happened, promised by company. See, it's really happened, you know. So similar things, see, lots of things. So because the problem, these AI techniques, then if you use in the real application, will create some potential problem. So that means people need to be really, really careful. So as I mentioned, this is my group's research. As I mentioned, nowadays AI creates a lot of untrue information, right? For example, ChatGPT, every day, think about it. They create many information never verified. So some may be true, but lots of them are untrue, right? So in this way, this fact-checking become a very important research topic. Let's say we throw a piece of information to people. How do you know it's true or not true? So that is a research topic is fact-checking, whether it is a fact or it's not a fact, right? So of course, then there's lots of research behind. Then just if you're interested, you can have a look. I guess here I really want to see is how to do this automated fact-checking is a very hot research topic. So the other research topic is find the truth. It's similar, right? So whenever we have information online from online, so how people know it is truth or not? Yeah, so then research-wise, we need to come up techniques, then how to detect this truth. Then tell people, oh, this is untrue. You should not believe it. So before I pretty much already finish, then before I finish, I really want to show recent research is an AI research result for my school. This is about human robotics, right? You will see that I will play the two videos. You will see some most advanced research from our school.
Hey, Anna, how are you? I'm feeling chipper. Thank you. How about you? What's been the highlight of your day so far? Do you remember me?
See, behind the lots of research topic, right?
Hey, Penny. Everything's going pretty swell on my end. How about you? What's new in your world? What's this in my hand? Could you repeat that? What am I doing? Washing dishes. Not everyone's cup of tea. I can see why it might not be your favorite task. It's quite a chore, isn't it? And now what am I doing? Badminton. That's a lively game. Keep those birdies flying. Just remember, even if you don't enjoy washing dishes, it can be a peaceful moment in the day. You got this.
Yeah, see, this is just a one-to-one, right? So a person talk to a robot, then you can see them, they can keep all the content, right? Your previous talk or some topics they can link. So what most complex one actually is what happens if multiple people same time communicate with this robot, right? That is a very difficult part. Then last year we already realized this research. You can see. This is 3 people in the room, then same time communicate. Then the robot actually real time can communicate with different people.
Hi there. I'm excited to hear all about what you and your friends have been up to.
I just found out I didn't get it.
Yeah, they all talk about different things. some sad, unhappy. Yeah.
After all your effort.
I put so much effort into my application, and they didn't even give me a chance.
Yeah, he's very
That sounds
unhappy.
really disheartening. Your effort deserves recognition, and it's tough when it feels overlooked.
That's totally understandable. It's infuriating when you feel overlooked.
You see the robot turn around, right? If somebody talks, then pay attention
Absolutely.
to the person.
Feeling overlooked can be incredibly frustrating. Your feelings are completely valid.
It's just disgusting. I can't believe how unfair it is.
It's truly unfair and disheartening. I'm here to support you through this.
It really sucks.
It really does. I'm sorry you're going through this.
You know what? I just remembered something.
Yeah, the girl talk about different things. Yeah, happy things.
Oh, what happened? I'm curious to hear about it.
My cousin got engaged out of nowhere.
Well, that's quite a surprise. How exciting for your cousin.
Yes, I was shocked. I mean, they've only been dating for a few months.
That must have been a big surprise. Sometimes love moves quickly.
Yeah, so this, I have to say, is the most advanced AI research from our school. So this is published in the top robotics conference. So to just a little bit summarize, I think this is a few key messages you can take away from today's lecture. So obviously, the first one is there's lots of advanced progress in terms of AI development. Then really, particular for generative AI, right? So really, I think hopefully after today's lecture, you understand a little bit, right? It's not yet perfect. Okay, so large language models have lots of fundamental problems and limitations. That basically is a researcher, we need to work further to solve those problems, okay? Yeah, in terms of what are the challenges, first one is reasoning and planning. Current large language models still cannot do a good job. Yeah, that is the first challenge we talk about today. The second one is large language models not necessarily produce true information. So many times they just make up information. So you need to be careful, right? Should not believe whatever the information produced by large language models. So hopefully you understand that behind is the model designed never in a way to check the truth. That is not the large language model focus. The focus is only this, they see whether this test looks like a human produced by a human being. So that is the problem. Check whether it's true or not is not the model's focus. So that's why we really should not just simply believe whatever language model tell you. The last one is that if you, in the future, or plan to do some research in this area, I think this fact-checking is a very important and hot topic. Yeah, so given that now we have such a large amount of fake information, right? So we need to tell people then what is a fact, what is not a fact. Yeah, so this, of course, behind is a very hot research topic. So this is my research group. Then we have a very large research group. Many students work together. So I think today I just stop here. Then if you have any questions, we perhaps have some time to answer your question. Oh, okay. So who's asked question?
He's already has to leave due to a test, an exam.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want to ask
Yeah, there's a student who already left, but they asked two questions, right? The first question is, if there,
Did I hear what is it about? Search about?
it's a very important research topic.
Maybe not the exact name,
Huh?
but also like what kind of like what kind of focus?
Yeah, anyway, I repeat again, is a fact checking. Fact checking, yeah. So because this is really important, I think information available online, majority are untrue. So this is unfortunately is a serious issue. Yeah, I think some people purposely put those misleading information online. You know, so that's why this fact checking is very important, become a very good topic, very important topic. Yeah, so for normal users, if I search the web, Google, then I get this piece of information. How do I know this is true information or not? You don't have idea. So that's why research-wise, we need to tell people. So end of the day, you think if we have a good research, can identify the fact, then Google perhaps can embed that functionality, right? So when you search, then they say, oh, this is true, or that is not true. That will be very useful, yeah, for normal people. Yeah. So fact checking become very important. But I guess the message is that you should not believe information you get online. That is an important message. Don't believe whatever you get from the web.
Okay. So at the end of our lesson today, is there anyone interested in going to Australia to research, to study? Anyone? No?
Do you already have something?
Macquarie University, right after my state, we are the top
That
university
is for
in
my
Australia.
school. A little
We
gift
offer
for you.
generous scholarships for international students.
Do you already
Just
have?
in case you guys want
No.
to know more about Macquarie University, I give you guys this one. We have many scholarships for international students, value up to 2% of first year study. You as well. This is our
Yeah,
pen.
perhaps we just give to students. It's a promotion, right? I think give to, not everybody got a gift.